When thinking about all of the problems in today's society, I can name you a long list. However, one problem in specific bothers me a little more than the rest. What poor hobby harms nearly every organ in the human body from its toxins? What dreadful habit causes more deaths each year than HIV, illegal drug and alcohol use and abuse, motor vehicle accidents, and firearm related incidents? I'm sure you were quickly able to guess the serious problem in today's world that I was referring to: smoking. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, cigarette smoking causes more than 480,000 deaths each year in the United States, or about 1 in 5 deaths. I couldn't agree more with this quote I discovered in an article titled "Smoking Out Tobacco," founded in the journal The Chronicle of Higher Education. The quote reads, "We ban lead paint and children's toys that can be swallowed and asbestos insulation, the biggest killer in the history of human civilization we tolerate. If we ban things like lead paint because of their harmful effects, then why are cigarettes and other tobacco products still on the market?" Let me begin by divulging as just how harmful these tobacco products are on the human body. Then I will thoroughly explain what I think the ultimate solution to the problem should be. As I stated previously, smoking comes with many life-threatening consequences and affects nearly every organ of the body. Smoking is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States. For starters, the most obvious effects smoking has are on the lungs. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that smoking will indefinitely lead to lung disease later in life if not stopped early by damaging the airways and the alveoli, which are the small air sacs responsible for gas exchange. The toxins from smoking create diseases like COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which encompasses emphysema and chronic bronchitis. It is also responsible for causing most cases of lung cancer than any other source. Marlboro man Eric Lawson would have attested to the harmful effects of smoking as he tried to before his death. Many of you may have not heard of Eric Lawson, however, he was referred to as the Marlboro Man because he starred in the long-running series of cigarette ads for one of the world's most famous cigarette companies, Marlboro. According to the newspaper article founded in the Chicago Tribune titled "Marlboro Man Dies of Lung Disease," Lawson's death was caused by respiratory failure due to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and was directly linked to smoking. The article goes on to state that after years of advertising for the well-known brand, Marlboro, Lawson became outspoken in the warning of dangers of cigarettes, appearing in an anti-tobacco public service announcement for the American Cancer Society. Although the lungs are the organ that is most affected by cigarette smoking, other vital organs are damaged as well. Smokers are more likely than non-smokers to develop heart disease, stroke, and lung cancer, confirms the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Smokers are at their greatest risk for diseases that affect the heart and blood vessels, also known as cardiovascular disease. Smoking damages the blood vessels and can cause them to become thick and narrow, also known as atherosclerosis. Over time, atherosclerosis leads to increased blood pressure, accelerated heart rate, and an increased risk for clot formation, which can lead to heart attack or stroke. A heart attack occurs when the blood clot blocks blood flow traveling to the heart. When this happens, the heart is deprived of oxygen and eventually dies without prompt intervention. Similarly, a stroke occurs when a clot blocks the blood flow to the brain, therefore depriving it of its oxygen. Again, without prompt intervention, brain tissue dies and leaves the individual with many adverse effects. Aside from its cardiovascular effects, smoking alters a woman's ability to become pregnant and absolutely affects the baby's health if smoking continues during pregnancy. Smoking during pregnancy can lead to many unwanted consequences, such as preterm delivery, stillbirth, low birth weight, SIDS, ectopic pregnancy, and orofacial clefts in infants, such as a cleft lip or palate. Smoking also affects bone health, making those who smoke at greater risk for weaker, more brittle bones, also known as osteoporosis. As many of you have probably noticed, it greatly disturbs the health of your teeth and gums, causing a more yellow appearance, can even lead to tooth loss from gum disease. Smoking is also a risk factor for type 2 diabetes mellitus, making it harder to control blood sugar levels, which in turn leads to more complications in itself. As you can probably tell, smoking does affect nearly every organ in the human body. I can continue to list other diseases and complications this poor habit causes. We would be here well past our time constraints. So let me reveal what I believe to be a solution to the biggest killer in the history of human civilization. The CDC states that in just 1 year after smoking cessation, the risk for experiencing a heart attack drops sharply. Likewise, 10 years after smoking is stopped, the risk for lung cancer drops by half. The CDC provides many other staggering statistics in regards to smoking cessation. However, to me, this is not good enough. In my opinion, it is much harder to stop smoking than to start. So why can't we focus on preventing people from ever picking up this dreadful habit instead of stopping it once it's already started? And let's face it, smoking is merely a habit. My ultimate solution to this very serious problem in today's world is taking tobacco products off the markets. Although this would take a great deal of work from many parties, I believe it's accomplishable. I believe this is the only way to put an end to smoking and its many life-threatening consequences. Apparently, I am not the only one who feels so strongly about taking tobacco off the shelves. A newspaper article titled Taking Tobacco Off the Shelves, founded in the New York Times, discusses a major drugstore chain, CVS, eliminating the sales of cigarettes and other tobacco-related products out of thousands of stores this year. CVS realizes that the action would reduce its revenues by as much as $2 billion per year in tobacco sales and other tobacco-related items that customers buy. But the major drugstore chain is willing to accept the losses because it sees itself in affiliation with healthcare systems, physician groups, insurers, and other healthcare providers. We are well on our way to ending the manufacturing of cigarettes and other tobacco products. According to an article I discovered in the Oxford Journal, Enhancing the Effectiveness of Smoking Cessation, cigarette taxes have increased around the country, making them more expensive. Approximately 20 years ago, the average pack of cigarettes was $1.75. Today is more than triple the amount. Laws banning smoking in restaurants, bars, and workplaces have come into place. Airline flights have also long made smoking off limits. It's apparent we are finally taking steps to put an end to smoking and take the products off the market. We need to continue on this journey for the simple fact that it will benefit all parties. I'm sure it will be a battle, especially for those blinded by the habit. However, like any bad habit, it takes time to overcome. I will not feel bad about possibly saving someone's life. I am a nurse and believe it is my duty to try and put an end to this serious problem in today's world.